Hello, everybody. It's Diane, and it says it's 7:02, so I'm sorry I'm 2 minutes late, and I'm going to just give it a minute. Looks like my camera's really blurry, so I'm hoping that's not the case for you. Well, hey, my beautiful Rhonda. Oh my God, we need to meet up. We need to talk. I miss you. Oh, it's so beautiful to see your name. I'm going to talk about the CBD oils tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about what you want to watch for, what you want to look for, what matters, why they're not all created equal. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about what's happening for me because I started on this oil. I shouldn't say I started on oils last Monday. I started on this one because I had tried other ones. I've been trying stuff since I think it was October of 2016, 17, 18, that I got given what would be considered medical marijuana. Rhonda, can you tell me, is it really blurry? Or is it just me? It shouldn't be blurry like that. You can write it in the comments if you want. So there's a difference. There's a difference from, hey Mick, hello. There's a difference in, it's like anything. The quality of where you buy one thing can be very different than the quality where you buy something different. The price can be similar, the price can be miles apart and stuff. So it's no different. It's no different than a high quality, juice than one that's made out of real juices than something that's synthetic. And the thing about prescription drugs and what they're used to giving us and all the stuff that they want us to take and tell us to take and affects us in so many ways, it's all synthetic. And I'm actually going to start putting a few things in the feed because this gentleman here, he explains the endocannabinoid system and why CBD is doing what it's doing for people and why it's speaking to our bodies. I can't really explain it, and I could never explain it the way this man's obviously involved and has been studying. So I can talk about my own experience and I can talk about what I'm learning, but he actually explains to you the physiological reason, what our body's doing, what happens to the cell when it's inflamed. And most diseases and most illnesses are actually underlyingly, there's inflammation somewhere in the background. I've learned this from being through all sorts of, I feel like this is weird, right behind me. I feel like this is, I've been through so many things over the last 7 years, especially, or 2006, I guess. And I've ended up in front of so many doctors and I've had to learn so much stuff, or I chose to learn so much stuff that I know I understand quite a lot. And when I went through my cancers, I did very natural things. I went to naturopaths. I took high-end, high-quality supplements. It's kind of like, show me the Lexus of supplements. I wanted to make my way through that as best as I could as a healthy individual, and I didn't want the Hyundai of supplements. I wanted the Lexus of supplements. And so I went on them, and I can tell you, I don't know, I think I was averaging around $500 a month to stay on them. But when it's, you're trying to find a way to stay alive through something as a diagnosis such as cancer, it was nominal in the big picture. And I was diagnosed initially in 2006, and it's 2018. And actually I think I was diagnosed in February of 2006. So that means I'm here 12 years later. And I've included a lot of stuff in supplements, so that's why I am always looking and going. So what I do want to tell you guys, that link is going to tell you a lot. I tell people, if you're going to ingest something, especially if you're fighting an illness or you're trying to get through a difficult time, you're struggling with anxiety, depression, pain, you're fighting inflammation, you're cancer, you're insomnia, you have addiction issues, and addictions show up in a lot of ways. They're not just physical substance that we put in our bodies. The addiction is, there's stuff that's going off, kind of firing off in us, that sends us for the sugar and sends us for the gambling and sends us for all of that. And what they're saying about the CBD oils is that it quietens, somehow does something to the receptors that really quietens the letdown, so that's why it's helping people with addictions on so many levels. It's helping people with addictions on so many levels. Anxiety, depression, pain. In that video that I put up there for you guys, he talks about why it helps pain. Hey, thanks, buddy. Hey, Clancy. Thank you, Mick. So that's really, I mean, spend 20 minutes listening to that video, because he really he explains why it's working and why it's doing so much for us. But you definitely want to end up with a high quality product, because you can spend the same amount of money on a poor quality product. What I've learned is by going to the dispensaries, ordering online and all of that. I didn't bring my bottles downstairs. I could have done that, sorry. But the stuff that I went on last year, it was a little bottle. It was 15 mils. I think I talked about this the other day. In our bottles, this company, CTFO, is 30. And it was $130, I think, plus tax and shipping to get to my house. And then in that entire bottle, I didn't have the response I've had from this product. And I started them on Monday a week ago. So however many days that's been. And so when I've been spending the last couple of days thinking about it, I thought, I found, I was given medical marijuana licensing. I had been THC and smoking marijuana. I mean, that was already something I had lots of experience at. But when I went into the medical marijuana thing, and I started ordering oils, and I started ordering edibles, and I started ordering high CBD, low THC, there still was always a lot of THC, even the low THC for me. When you have the supplement that comes, when you have the CBD oils that I'm accessing and using and talking about, and they're coming through a company that's not through the medical marijuana dispensary, and it's an industrial hemp, it has to have measured at 0.3% of THC or less to be classified in the supplement area. If the medical marijuana dispensaries, they don't need their CBD oil to be less than the 0.3%. They don't have to meet that criteria. That keeps them in the medical marijuana thing, and that also keeps the legal issue on the go all of the time. So you want to care about the type of CBD oils that you're getting. I tried all sorts of them. I tried capsules, I tried drops, I tried dried powdered capsules, and I never had any experience like I've had in the last 9 days, because I feel better. I've slept since last Wednesday without a sleeping pill. I was in my bathtub having a bath downstairs, had my hair and makeup done by 9:30 this morning, and if any, it's just not my life anymore. I don't even come out of my room until 10 o'clock, and then I don't, it's like crickety when even I come out. So my mood is elevated. My pain in my body is minimizing. And so I know the difference. So I can speak to the fact that I have tried oils that obviously aren't of the quality of what I'm taking right now, because in all of those experiences, I have not felt like I feel right now. I'm going to just go over a few things with you, just so while you guys are here with me and I can talk about them. So what you want to look for when you're looking at CBD oils and where you're getting them is you want to know, like, where are they coming from? Where are they manufactured? If you're getting them legally through the supplement, like as I just talked about, they're not coming out of the medical marijuana industry where there's no regulation of the CBD oil in terms of they don't have to meet that regulation. You want to know where are they coming from. If if the oil is heated to extract the oil, it actually diminishes the potency and the efficacy of the CBD. So that's also what you could end up paying for CBD oil, and maybe that's what I was paying for. Maybe that's why I didn't get any response, because the way it was being processed, that if it was being when they use heat, they use solvents. So there's also that aspect. And what it does is a high-grade CBD oil, and one extracted with, is that it has a combination of the CBD isolate or extract along with the full spectrum whole plant hemp oil. And that's not there it's only there depending on how it's extracted. It's pesticide free, it's non-GMO, it's manufactured in a good manufacturing process. The company is in alignment with somebody that does the science and the research, things like that. Those are the things that you want to ask about, and you want to know about what the oils are doing for you. And what I want to tell you guys is this company in particular has just been doing some, what do they call it, independent lab tests. And so this is why it matters if you're getting it from a good manufacturing facility, because it basically has to meet that under 0.3%. If it says there's 1,500 milligrams of CBD oil in a 30 milliliter bottle, that has to be the case when they go through these processes. So the ones that they just announced, they did them on the 300, 500, 750, and 1,500. And when you get a free account with these guys, you jump into your account and you go under the library, and all sorts of stuff is in there. Lots of stuff is in there about the business too, but the stuff about the oils, all the labels for the bottles are in there, all your prices are in there. But what was interesting is all of these things, they not only met the minimum manufacturing standards, they exceeded them. So they were under that marker of the less than the 0.3. They were, if it was 1,500 milligrams, I think I'd have to see it here. I don't really know how to read this right now. It really is best for you guys to actually have a look for yourself. But so the 1,500 milligram drops, that bottle has to show that it has a minimum of 1,500 milligrams in that 30 milliliter bottle and all of that. And that's maybe what's going on. And maybe because the dispensaries are dispensing CBD oils with THC, and it's not for example, the stuff that I got was a 20 CBD ratio to 1 THC, because myself, my doctor, we all agreed I don't want the THC. So by doing that, I got 20 to 1. So you'd think, okay, 20 to 1, there can't be very much CBD in there. Well, if I took a whole syringe of that, I got high on that. Well, I wasn't high like that other stuff I spoke about before. It wasn't like a wild amount of THC, but I felt that effect from the THC, or I felt like, okay. And again, when I'm coaching and doing the type of work that I do, it doesn't feel like it's an integrity for me to do that while I'm working. And so it's been a concern for me, and being that I can't be high when I'm getting through my life. It just doesn't suit me. And I even joked to somebody today. I said, I'm all for going. If you want to go have something socially on the weekend, because that's how you socialize, versus maybe drinking alcohol or whatever, that's different. But to operate your life in a place where you're like stoned all the time. I mean, I've managed to get this age in life without being, coming through it stoned and drunk, and I don't have a desire to start it now, which is also why I don't want the opioids. I don't want the opioids for tons of reasons, but they have side effects too, and they have side effects with mood, and they have side with digestion and bowels and their organs. And this gentleman, if you guys go back up this thing that I put up there for you, that video, he talks in there about why the opioid or the prescription is affecting you, and it's throwing your system off kilter. The CBD oil brings everything into kilter and we absorb it and do all of that because of the endocannabinoid system. And the endocannabinoid system was fully discovered in 1992 by a doctor, and I believe it was Israel, might be Germany, but he speaks of him, I think, in that video even there, that when they found that endocannabinoid system, it speaks to the cannabinoid, the cannabidiol or whatever that's in the CBD oil, and it literally just It kind of takes the inflammation down. And when things aren't on fire all the time and all of that stuff's not happening, we can start to repair. That's why it's so healthy for cancer. It's affecting diabetes. It's affecting Alzheimer's. I'm talking about positively affecting. MS. I'm like, what more do you want to know? I'm just willing to try it. I'm willing to go on this journey and share it with you guys. Because I think it's important, and I think it's a discussion that's important, and we want to make sure that they understand that these CBD oils that are of this CBD oil that falls under that 0.3%, that has no psychoactive effect at all, why they would try to even remotely have that as an illegal substance when an illegal substance on that we have kids that we need, people and kids that we need to get off opioids and fentanyl and painkillers and drugs and cocaine and crack and everything else that's out there, and people are struggling, PTSD, they're struggling, and this product and this plant and this medicine, they actually could call it, I believe, a plant medicine. It's helping people. And so I'm really, really, really okay, Mick, you bet. Come back anytime, and thanks for jumping into the video. So the other things that I wanted to just go over a little bit was about I've been getting people asking about placing, or can I order some or whatever. Absolutely. What this company does and what I need everybody to do is to go get an account. You can get, yes, absolutely. I'd love it if you got one through me, but if not, you can get CTFO account. You go in there, you order direct, they send it to you directly. I'm not in a position to house products and such for people. I'm all about talking about it and helping. And I had somebody that got an order today, and we jumped on the phone, and I said, well, here's what I've been doing. And just so I do want to talk about when I said on Monday, when I didn't sleep that night, what I learned was I had been taking about 5 drops by then, 5 drops of the 750 milligram normally, drops in my night, and then I took 2 little sprays of the sleep stuff. And I thought that night, oh, I wonder if I'll sleep really good if I take a full dose of the 1500 milligram. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it in the sense like I'm taking the heavy drug or anything, because I've done enough research, and that's a regular dose if somebody was on a full dose anyways. And I was wide awake. I was wide awake the whole night. I finally completely got up. I think I turned my light back off at 5 or 5:30 in the morning. So what I realized is when I'm on low energy and when I'm struggling on that day, or I maybe not feeling well, that's when I want to go take a full dose of the 1500 milligrams, because of how much I got wide awake from it and how good I felt. I just didn't really want to be that wide awake at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm, and I slept, I think, until 8:30. So that was a long day yesterday. I did notice that I was tired. I would expect to be tired by not sleeping and stuff. And the other thing I want people to understand is I'm not calling out a miracle or anything here, in the sense that, my life is just, wow, I went on CBD oils a week ago and I'm better. It's not. I can tell you the improvements that I'm feeling, and they're adding up every day. And when I was like walking around my house, the one where I've really noticed the consistency is in my knees and in my legs. My arms are better and I can lift them. But yesterday I actually had trouble lifting my arms. But it was like, okay, it's been going on for a long time. You find out 10, 11 years without calcium going to your bones. I'm not suggesting that I'm having, wow, my whole life is better because I started CBD oils a week ago. All I know is I've been trying stuff from the dispensaries since October or November of 2016. And this is the first time where I've had this many days in a row, and where I've gone without sleeping pills, and where my mood is getting better, where like I'm up talking, I'm with people, and I managed to do that to a certain degree for, hey, Nancy girl, for, to manage my life and clients and things like that. So what they're having a lot of really good results with CBD oil is if it's in it topically, both by taking it sublingually, and that's the other thing, is these oils and these sprays you take sublingually, meaning you spray them and drop them underneath your tongue. It disperses immediately into the bloodstream, so it's not going through the digestive system, not having to swallow it and process it and do all of that, which they've actually proved that even a high quality supplement, once it goes through your digestive system, what happens is all the same thing, the efficacy and the potency, it gets diminished because it has to go through our digestive system and everything. So I've always been somebody that liked to have sublingual things, because I understand what happens when it enters the blood, and then it goes more to the cellular level, right? And that's where we need the healing. Most of us need the healing is on the cellular level. So the industry is morphing and changing. There's so much to learn about it. And if you want to understand that aspect of it, just like I can send to lots of videos. If you go to the page that I started to promote the business and stuff, I went through it today. I was like, oh my God, I've been putting so much stuff up here because I'm so excited about the stuff I find and read and find and read and find and stuff like that. And I think that, if there's something that a person can put in their body and it's reasonably priced, which this is, when I went on Thrive a couple years ago, some of you might remember when I went on Thrive, and I immediately got energetic, and I was getting up about 8 o'clock in the morning. But it was helping me in my mood and all of that, but I'm quite sure that it wasn't doing anything for my pain. But it also, by the time we paid the dollar on it, because you had to take 3 products, it was about $250 to get it to the house. And not everybody can keep up with that. And it's difficult to keep up with over month after month after month. So, for example, you can buy the 300 milligram drops, and by the time they get to the door in Canada, I think they're probably going to be about $75. And it's 220 drop doses a day if you take a full dose. I've only taken a full dose once, and that was the other night, and that's what happened. I was wide awake the whole night. And other than that, I haven't taken a whole dose. And what I feel like what I wanted to do is I put it in my body about every 6 hours. So I'm taking 4 or 5 drops about every 6 hours. And I think in the science and the way my brain makes logic is that when your body starts to heal and the inflammation starts to diminish and the insomnia starts to diminish and a person is sleeping better, which helps their mental and emotional body and all of that, your cravings are dropping and all of that, that you will need less of the oil all the time. So I went for the 750 and the 1500 because of the physical shape that I'm in and the pain that I deal with. If somebody's coming in strictly for insomnia and maybe a little bit of a mood enhancement, they probably can be fine with the 300 to 500 drops. That's what I would suggest. I would look at body mass. If you're, hi Rachel, if you're 250 pounds versus 120 pounds, you probably are going to need more, which would be no different than most of the things that we take. So it's just kind of think logically about it. If you want to order some, if you want to ask me, absolutely. But just keep that in mind. And then all of the information, once you drop into the back office there, when you get your own account, you can see stuff that you also get invited into their website, and they have lots of testimonials and things like that. And they do ask customers to only bring people in that are legitimate. We go in there, we give testimonials. We have to be a customer representative. And we have to say what it is we're taking, how much we're taking, and then what's happening to us. So that's good. That's a good way to get people to, give an honest testimonial. I can tell you that the business standpoint is one of the gentlemen that's up in the business from me that's been helping me. I reached out to him and just said who's been, in the business for a while and who can answer some questions for me. His business has gone mad. Like his business has gone mad. He was making low to mid figure, 4-figure income a month, and he's making that 4 times that, in a month or in a week or something. It's just unbelievable. He said he didn't even know anything about CBD or CBD oils, and the company was launching them. And so he started to learn, and his business has just exploded. That tells you that there's a demand. That tells you that people are looking for something. And when you go look at the science, when you take the time to say, well, what do we know about CBD oils? It's been studied. It's been on the earth for thousands of years. The science behind it is very old, but the endocannabinoid system is not. That was only fully discovered in 1992. And that's why I'm so glad that they've brought the CBD back where it belongs, because it's helping. It's giving our body something, like it's like depositing something that it's already got, that it's made of. And the analogy that I use when I talk about that in that regard is, you have the cannabinoid from the CBD, and the CBD has all sorts of different things. There's different CBD, CBCs, or different things like that. High quality extracted properly CBD oils have 400 phytonutrients in them. There's all sorts of stuff, but the endocannabinoid system and the cannabidiol from the CBD oil, it's like they're the same ingredient in a sense, versus here's our body and here's a blueberry. When we give a high quality supplement, or we put blueberries, which are considered highly antioxidant in our body, it informs our body, especially a good high quality organic blueberry, processed the same thing. You know, if you were to eat a cupful of blueberries, your body will receive that through the digestive system. If you were to drink a cup of straight blueberries, you're having a lot more antioxidant effect the way that you're putting it in your body. But it's not, we don't have, so to speak, the ingredients of the blueberry in our body the way we have the endocannabinoid system and the cannabinoid and the cannabidiol. And I tell you guys again that I put it in here already, and I'll just put it in again for people that have come later. That video that I just posted in the thread, it's 20 minutes so well worth spent. I watched so much stuff in the last month, and actually I wrote on the Facebook page that I decided I was going to go into this journey of trying the CBD oils, and I'm going to really commit to them and stay on them once I found a company that I was confident I was going to get the high quality CBD oils from. Was February 6th, and today's March 6th. So they took, the first order took 16 days to get to my house. The second order took 8 days. So that was a big difference, 8 business days. So keep that in mind if you do want to try something or order something. And then, make sure, what I would suggest to people, if they're going to give it an honest try, is that you don't buy a month's worth and then take 3, you don't order any, and then you go 2 weeks or 3 weeks without it, and then you get your order and then you go back on it. You really, really should plan to have, either you can buy some of the oils, you can buy in 3 packs, those 3 oils. Like I'm taking maybe the whole 20 drops right now. If I take 5 drops 4 times a day, and in actuality a full serving could be 40 drops a day. So my bottle is obviously going to last me for a little bit longer than the 25 days if I had 2 full serving days. Hi, sweetie. How are you? So what else do I want to tell you guys? Let me just see here. Yeah, if you go on the website, I'll put up the website for you, because that way you can go see, you can read all about the products. Their labels tell you what's in the product. They tell you how much. They tell you the measurements. I'm just trying to read if I can understand. Lots. See, it's like my brain it just doesn't fire on all cylinders yet. Okay, so for example, the quantitative results when they did these independent results was the total THC in the test was 0.08%, and the measurement is under 0.3 or under, so it's way under. It says 15 milligrams of CBD, I believe it is, and in that that had 16.68 milligrams in it when they did the test. So what that's just telling you, it's at least you're getting what you're paying for. You're getting the minimum of what you're paying for. And then they're actually exceeding it. They're exceeding what is on the bottle, which is what we would like. It's kind of like, getting something extra, getting your something extra if you go to the store, where you're not overpaying for something. I had a discussion with somebody today. I don't have a problem paying for something when the quality matches what I'm paying for, the consistency, whatever it is. It's when you pay for something and you find out, like I was watching this video and they were talking about these people that were extracting oil, filling it up with olive oil, putting a little bit of CBD oil in it, filling it up with olive oil, and then selling out the things like that. It's just, to me, it's unfortunate that people do that shit on the earth, but frankly, people do that shit on the earth. So, and this industry isn't going to be any different than anything else. There's going to be good quality companies and reputable companies, and there's going to be shysters. And right now, somebody said to me today, between the industry, the legalities, the science, the research, the growing medical marijuana and everything, they said it's like the Wild West out there right now. And it's going to take a while for everything to come, kind of under the roof. One of the reasons the dispensaries, one of their arguments is they said they want this stuff to be able to be available at Shoppers and Walmart and things like that. And the reason that part of the reason is that, again, your quality is probably going to be a potentially more regulated if it's showing up in a Shoppers Drug Mart than it is on a corner store dispensary. There's good dispensaries, there's good people running the dispensaries, and then there's also some of them that are really trying to dive in, make some money, and get the hell out and stuff like that. So, it's no different. People are people, and you have to accept that. So, but if you're struggling, if you know somebody that's cancer is amazing what's happening with cancer. But if you know somebody that's struggling with depression, pain, addiction, cancer, nervous system, anything, seizures, insomnia, tell them to look into CBD oils. Tell them to look into getting a high quality one, because what I can tell you is, by the amount of stuff that I've had from the dispensaries in the last year, and it's not an inexpensive journey to go there. They have you can go buy what they call an edible, and they have the last time I think we got these things, they were called turtles. So they were like a turtle, what we know as a turtle. We buy them at Christmas time, chocolates, caramel, nuts, and all of that. And the package had 4 of them. They were little wee things and I believe they were $8 or $10. THC, so people are taking them because they want some of it, they want that high, but you're also taking in sugar and chocolate and everything else. So again, all sorts of stuff happens. Your digestive system has to be included. Now you've put sugar in your body. Another thing that's really having great response to the CBD oils is diabetes, because it does something that causes the blood to regulate, so the blood sugar to regulate. So, woohoo, yaha. I was watching something earlier, or reading something earlier, and it was about one of the states that's trying to stop the CBD oils and the industrial hemp. And I'm telling you straight out, if I found out any politician was trying to keep the CBD oil portion of this industry out of the public's hands, that person is off my list, period. I mean, I don't give a shit what their other things are. That it does, if you go and do the research and understand the science behind this, there simply isn't an effing argument unless you're supporting political gain, pharmaceutical companies, corporations, and putting people on pharmaceuticals and masking problems and putting Band-Aids on problems. If there's anything you guys have as questions, I should tell you to throw them in the thing or whatever. Feel free, for sure. I've been talking now for about 35 minutes, so I think I'm ready to stop unless there are anybody that does have a question. But go, do the research. I'll put my other page up there. I'll put it in the post side of this thing, because there is a lot. I'm putting up a lot of videos and articles and all of that. You know, I'm gathering this information from all over, and I'm trying to put it under one place for you guys. And I don't want it all on my personal page. That's not my whole purpose by any means here. And it's just where I have the most people. And then there is a fabulous business opportunity attached to it. There's a fabulous business opportunities in the Wild West all over this industry. And there's people making massive amounts of money in the stock market. And there's companies that are, you know, they're taking over what used to be warehouses of another. They're building grow ops because of the medical marijuana industry and what's happening and stuff like that. And you know, I do tell people, because a lot of people, there is a value to THC. THC actually does some stuff for us. What's happened with the THC, in my experience and in my opinion, they can build strains now. They can make them so they're like woohoo, like you can like. You're going to get really high on this one and not so much on this one. THC is helping people sometimes with depression. There's other people who are struggling because THC actually gives them anxiety. So they can't, that's not helping them. They don't need to be more anxious. See, you know, THC in and of itself, some people will find they get, you know, they get agitated from it and stuff like that. It doesn't help pain. It never did help my pain. My joke is it can take my mind off of it. Yes, very much. Thank you sometimes. But it's never helped my pain. And it's never helped me sleep because it wakes me up. It heightens me more than anything. And so if somebody wants the THC, they do have to go and get that from a dispensary or somewhere else. That's not offered in this company, and it's not offered in this line of products, because this whole line of products is based on pure CBD oils with that percentage down below, no psychoactive effect, which is why we're able to have it sent to our house from a company. This company is called Change the Future Outcome. You might be getting products from Melaleuca. You might be getting products from Monate. You might be getting products from Juice Plus. You might be getting products from Nucerity. It's just a company. Those are networking companies. Same thing. And it's meeting all of the standards, which is really, really important. And I can really get in a long discussion about why I support network marketing companies. One, they give back. They help people. They let people stay home. And they also, they don't pay out an advertising dollar until a product's actually been purchased. That's entire income system is based on, there's a commission to be paid because somebody bought something. So it's not competing in the market. It's not trying to sit on a shelf at Shoppers or Walmart or Walgreens or wherever, where there's, you know, the whole hair care line can be like, you know, all that distance, like a whole aisle of just a hair care product. Well, those people have to compete in that product. They're hoping that you'll buy their product. Their advertising dollars are spent in hopes of money coming into the company versus they're giving back because money's already in the company. And, you know, the part about, well, you have to do everything. And back in the day when the industry first came about, you know, we didn't have the internet. People went to hotels and did all of that. But at the end of the day, some of the best products out there to me are in network marketing companies, because first of all, people don't reorder stuff they don't like, so companies like that don't survive. They don't get to change their labels. They don't get to do all of the stuff like a Shoppers Drug Mart. Most of those products, or half those products, are owned by the same company, but the head company, but they just look like they're coming from different companies, and they're not. And that's, you know, something that's just to be aware of. And, you know, I went around my house. I've been paying attention recently, and I'm like, why do I have my skincare comes from networking companies. My candles come from network. My haircut products come from network marketing companies. I have crystal in my cupboard from network marketing companies. I have Melaleuca I had in my house. I still have Melaleuca in my house. I've been buying Melaleuca since 1994, and it's 2018. That's 24 years. I've stuck with that company because the quality of the product is so high. And so I know when I spend my money there what I'm going to get when I spend my money there. And I can go to Safeways and buy tea tree oil, and my guarantee you it will not be the same thing. You know, and I started looking around and I thought, I like these products, and they come from, because they come from companies that spend money, way more money on science and research. That's just common in the entire industry. So it doesn't matter if where somebody's bringing you something from. If they're sold inside a direct marketing or referral marketing company and they're lasting in the industry and they're several years old, there's a good chance that product will be a high quality product. It's certainly a good chance that it will be. Not to say there's not shysters, but you don't have to go to that industry to find a shyster in business. I remember this is a totally off topic joke, but I remember when I was younger and I left the province and somebody was talking about, people are assholes in Alberta, or people are assholes. And I remember saying I didn't have to leave my street to meet an asshole in Saskatchewan. So it's got nothing to do with the province. It's got nothing to do with, it's people. I mean, I didn't have to go to Alberta so I could run into an asshole. I mean, sorry, I'm just getting off topic there, but it's the truth. So, it's like life. Just pay attention to where you're getting your stuff, who you're buying it from, what quality it is. And then, is it meeting the standards of what is considered high quality CBD oils? In this particular discussion, it's about high quality CBD oils. So is it organic? Is it extracted with heat or CO2? Is it organic? Is it a high quality industrial hemp farm? Is it, are they keeping both the isolate and the whole plant, what's that stuff called I was saying? That whole plant hemp thing there. Sorry, I can't do too many things at once. I still don't have all my brain firing on all cylinders. I did tell somebody today that it's definitely improved in the short amounts of time here. So high potency CBD oil will maintain over the other 120 other cannabinoids, which all have healing benefits. So there's lots of different cannabinoids right within the CBD oil. This is the kind of stuff that you have to go and look at the science a little bit behind, right? And, is it being manufactured through a best practices facility? Is it coming out of mom and pop's kitchen that's adding olive oil into their capsules? It just frustrates us so bad, that it makes it difficult for a good company in today's world because of people that are doing that. This particular product, there's no animal testing. And that's also important because we have skincare. I did a video this morning because I did try the anti-lift wrinkle cream and I was stunned. It just, boom, they were just gone on the one side of my face. I did a video on it. It's 5 minutes long or something. I looked again about 4 hours later. CBD has some very good effects on acne, psoriasis, and eczema. So that's something else people are going to want to know about. If anybody's suffering with those three things, the only thing I ever found that did any good with that was high grade, high quality, pure Melaleuca tea tree oil. I used to have eczema and I would get it all in between my fingers. It was horrid. I was in my 20s. It was embarrassing, and I finally, in 1994, so I would have been in my 30s, I guess, when Melaleuca, the company, the one that I brag about, that I still like, and that I still today have in my house, they came to Canada in May of 1994, and I started using the high-grade tea tree oil, and that eczema went away. And it used to break out in my hands all the time, and I have not had any eczema on my hands since 1994, with the exception of within the first 2 or 3 years. What I found was if I got nervous about something or if I got stressed, I'd start to get the little bumps again, and I would just put the tea tree oil on it and they would be gone. And I never, ever, ever again had a full breakout from the tea tree oil after using that. So again, that's what happens if you end up with a really high quality product and something that actually has really beneficial factors to it. So anyways, nobody's asking any questions or anything. I'm going to sign off. Thank you for visiting. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Brenda. Oh, hello, David. David and Rhonda, they're my Palm Springs, Palm Desert friends, and I'm seriously trying to make my way down there. Really, hopefully, maybe soon. And just love you guys both, and it would be so cool to see you in person. And if I missed anybody up the chain there, I do apologize. So there, Rachel Road, I just found out Burt's Bees is owned by Clorox and Tom's Toothpaste. And we have Burt's Bees. Burt's Bees, it might be manufactured. See, it's owned by the same company, but Burt's Bees you'll find in health food stores everywhere. It's all over now. But it's very commonly started out in health food store because it's something that it does. It does, first of all, people say that it works. And I think it was less harsh, yet it falls under the same umbrella of Clorox. And I don't know if Clorox is meaning Clorox, the company, Clorox, the beach, that Clorox. To me, when I hear Clorox, I think of a bleach. I don't know any other name for Clorox, or I've never seen that name in any other way except to do with bleach. I think that's all I can say for this evening. So if you do have any questions, I really appreciate it. I'm getting all sorts of people asking and writing. And if you do try the oils, feel free, if you order them through there, if you, here, I'll get the thing for you. If you order them through there, through the site, and then you want to just, have my opinion about how to get started on them or how many to take, just phone me and ask me. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not even remotely suggesting that in any way, but as I said, if you can watch the videos, and then I would start with slow doses. That's just what I would do. I would start with slow doses. I've taken enough supplements over the years to know, if you get a high quality supplement and you just put it into your body really high, test right out of the get-go, chances are you're going to feel like you're going to feel worse, at least maybe for the first 3 to 5 days. You might feel like you have a flu because you're detoxing. And I just wanted my body to what happens if I put this in my body about every 6 hours. That's about what I'm doing, about every 6 hours. I kind of have them with me in my house everywhere. I got a little bag I put them in. I put them beside my bed at night, so when I wake up in the morning, I remember to take them. Because if you have issues of sleep, insomnia, fatigue, depression and all that, you can get up out of your bed and not even remember that you were going to take something. And the only thing people will get really, really, really good at taking and kind of don't miss a dose is when we're on pharmaceuticals, because it says to take first thing in the morning without food or something like that. So I'm really big on trying to help people, if we can find a way to minimize the pharmaceutical effect industry and everything that goes along with it, I'm on board. That's all there is to it. That's why I've spent my life trying to take supplements and nutrition and naturopathic stuff, because I'm not a big believer. And I think there's a purpose for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's no purpose for it, but if it's your only answer, then, that gentleman in that video that I put up here in the feed, you guys, he talks about the cycle of having to go on one pharmaceutical that then causes a side effect that now you need a second pharmaceutical that causes a side effect that you now need a third pharmaceutical to do this, this, and this. And I know that. I spoke about that. My mother basically passed away from what was considered a pharmaceutical death. She had emphysema. She went off her medications by choice. She lasted less than 48 hours. And the reason that she died, she didn't die because she died of emphysema. She had emphysema. She died because she went into pharmaceutical death because she took herself off all her medications. Her quality of life was gone. She was getting told she was going to a home. She said, I'm not signing up and staying for that. And they phoned us and said she'll be dead within 24 to 48 hours, probably 48 hours, which was about right. They phoned me at 8 o'clock on a Friday morning, and she passed away around 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And they said, just so you know, she didn't die of emphysema. People say, your mom died of emphysema. No, actually, she didn't. She had emphysema, which was completely took her quality of life away. but she died what was considered a pharmaceutical death because she was on so many different kinds of pharmaceuticals that she went into shock when she went off of them. She did that by choice, though. Like they said, you know, if you do that, you won't survive, Mrs. Lang. And she's like, I'm not going to that home. That's just what she was like, and that was the strength she had. And I actually respect my mother for that, because she chose not to suffer, and her quality of life was very, very, very diminished by then. So God bless everybody. Thanks. Hey, MJ and Monique, you guys just jumped in and I'm just jumping off. This actually turned out to be a long video, so probably too long. Sorry. But I'm kind of excited about all of this. So we'll see you guys all later. Thanks for coming to the video. Good night.